Turn the microphone on.
Sorry? Turn it off. Nice working.
Right, well, I'll start off and we'll go from there. Well, I've known Matt since, well, we were kids, small kids, running around in Chelmsford, causing havoc. But it wasn't really until we were allowed out on our own that the real fun sort of started. When his dad kindly let us off loose in the woods, walking the dogs, thinking he's the boys doing us a favour, but no, there's Matt in the woods, starting fires, causing God knows what sort of devastation and destruction. And Paul, if you ever wondered why your arm coat ever had twigs or thorns in the pockets, well, that was Matt chasing deer through thorn bushes and God knows what else. But then, after that, we sort of moved on the field, didn't we? Going to Winchester, buying crates of beer, smoking in the cathedral, and drinking the beer in the cathedral.
Amen.
And general disruptive behaviour. Well, after that, good times. Unfortunately, Matt moved on. All the family moved to Hedge End, and we sort of didn't see a lot of each other. Apart from the random phone call on a Sunday evening saying, "Paul, I need some help." I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" "I'm stuck in Bournemouth. I've missed the last train home, and if I don't get home in the morning and go to work, I'm going to get the sack." So I couldn't leave him there, so got in the car, drove down and picked him up. So, and you didn't get the sack, did you, Matt?
Just scraped through, I think.
Just straight through. But really and truly, that's where my chapter of growing up with Matt ended. So I'll pass you over to Mike, you can continue it.
As you can probably understand, Matt was a very disturbed little boy by the time I met him. When I first met Matt, he just started as a waiter at the Chamberlain's Bar, the pub that we used to work at. And my first memory of him was when he received some customer feedback, which he wasn't particularly pleased with. He lassoed Colin, the manager at the time, big guy, eyes close together. I think it was from Portsmouth. And told him about this customer feedback that he'd received so politely. The next thing I know, Colin's got the guy by the throat, small guy. The police are being called, and Matt's in the corner giggling like a schoolgirl. Yeah, just like that. It was his legendary customer service that soon led to Matt being assistant manager of the bar. A role that seemed to include disappearing to the cellar when it got busy, trying to turf out the local criminal element from the beer garden on his own, and inviting half the pub back to their parents' house for parties. I'm sure they're very pleased about that. How many carpets did you go through? Yeah. But he was always a very dedicated friend, and when I went up to the Midlands to university, on more than one occasion I got a phone call late at night. "Mike, I'm coming to see you, I'm getting the train." 3 hours later, he would invariably turn up to the pub with a beer in hand already. One time it was even, I think, a 50-mile taxi journey courtesy of South West Trains. I'll let Matt tell you about that later. He also made the trip up to the Midlands, to Coventry, for my birthday. And it was surprisingly quite a fair, but nevertheless, we spent the early hours of the morning in Coventry A&E, where Matt had suspected heart problems because he fainted. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to say too much about his past girlfriends. I've been told it's a bit of a faux pas, but I think that she overreacted at that point. This was previous. But there were times when I think that we all wondered about who Matt would end up with, and the various instabilities she'd have. But I think we're all very grateful to Claire taking on Matthew. Do you know what you've let yourself in for? No, but I'm delighted to say that when we moved Claire and Matt in together, we went out for a meal afterwards, and I think we all realised that this time it was a bit more serious, a bit more permanent, and now they're getting married with a beautiful baby daughter, and I think, to be honest with you, that's where our part ends, and all that remains is for me to ask all of you to raise your glasses and join Paul and I in a toast. Bride and groom.
Bride and groom.
I don't know what to do now.